ready to make a genuine, intentional change? Welcome to the Magic is Messy podcast. Witches and wizards, sisters and misters, guys, gals, non-binary pals, to all of our fabulous friends out there in airwave land. Welcome back to the Magic is Messy podcast. My name is Kitty D, and across from me is Ace.
It's me.
It's you. Oh, I ruined it though. I used me already. My name is Kitty D. And next, oh damn
across from me. Oh yeah, we had figured it out.
Okay, wait, and here she is, Ace.
It's me.
Okay, there it is. My name is Kitty D, and here she is, Ace.
It's me.
Bingo. I think that's gonna be it.
Okay.
We figured it out, ladies and gentlemen. We figured it out.
We figured it
out. Welcome. This episode, we're gonna dive in. But first, I want to say thank you to anyone that is here for the very first time. Welcome. Thanks for finding us. Thanks for pressing listen, cats and kittens. And for anyone that is coming back, we appreciate you. We appreciate your time and your energy and your super rad exchange. Ace, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's been a minute.
You're right. We did have a heart gift episode that was released for just a few seconds. And I realized the audio was poo-poo. I know. Maybe we will have that as the exclusive. Here's the shit content. Because we always have to have shit content to get the gold, right?
Right.
But we tried recording in a brand new room, and, the audio was kind of poo-poo.
I love how you said that.
And I just was not happy with it. So we are back in the studio, the Magic Hour studio here at the salon. Mm-hmm. And Ace.
Yes, and I've got a bit of a scritchy scritch because I'm still recovering from the plague.
Yeah, you went down.
I went down hard.
Going down, and around. Sugar was going down, so you did go down swinging.
I did. And I will tell you, I hate being sick.
Who just came out in that hate word?
Okay. It's the rest of the sickness.
I've never met her before.
I dislike being sick a lot, and not just because I don't like feeling like crap, because who likes feeling like crap? But I don't like being sick because it challenges my inner self-hating inner talk.
Your inner shit comes out?
My inner shit comes out about not being worthy because I'm not doing anything.
Oh, goddess, gross.
Isn't that so stupid?
But you know what? Hello human. Human. You literally just went ping.
I, in addition to fighting illness, I lay there fighting, my demons, ego. I'm not sure what exactly I'm fighting, but it's basically the belief, the old the old belief structure of if I'm not working, I'm not useful in any way. So that was
a record. The record of
yes.
I'm not useful if I'm not doing something productive, if I'm not doing anything.
If I'm not serving someone
else.
Whereas
rest is not productive, which is probably the record we're trying to break right now, right? Like we talk about the records that is just running in the background. That jazz. Mm-hmm. Remember when we talked about that? The jazz is running in the background, that fucking jazz. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I'm listening to that and I'm hearing it. Yeah. Now in that moment, what did you do to try to break the record or become more aware of the record? Or
I think for myself, I was basically, when you said rest is not doing anything, I have to remind myself that rest is doing something, mm-hmm. right? And there's also this very, very self-indulgent part of me, and I think a lot of us have this, of laying around and doing nothing, like reading or cooking yummy food for ourselves or taking a bath or doing something very, very luxurious and slow feels like a luxury to us now these days. The world is full of hustle, and so I get to indulge. So what I try to do is I'm trying to have arguments with myself until I finally wrestle my own psyche to the ground.
Absolutely.
And I'm basically listen, go fucking put on some beautiful socks and let the cat lay on your lap and drink some tea and read a fucking book, dude. It's bomb. That's the bomb thing. That's what you dream about when you are exhausted at work, and that's what you want to do. Now you can do it.
And then you make yourself feel guilty and ashamed when you actually get the chance to do it.
Yes. So I think like I said, I basically, I pin my proverbial puppy to the ground, my inner puppy, and I'm like, listen, just relax, friggin', just calm down. Read a book.
Your puppy.
My inner puppy.
You made the puppy take a nap.
That's right.
Got it. And I'm actually going through that right now. She just turned 7 months old.
Oh.
Zola Opal is 7 months old as of the 13th. But what I heard you say in that little story, thank you for showing us, when you went down, I'm going down, down, baby, Young Street in a Range Rover. When you went down, your body and or your psyche was really loud and showing you ways that you are hindering and or are still showing up in old versions of the beliefs you were handed systemically, societally, whatever it may be. When I heard you use the word of, I heard you use the word luxurious. Yes. I heard the word indulgent.
Yes.
And I heard the word hustle.
Yes.
Those were the ones that stuck out to me. And so this episode, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and misters, is going to be about the new moon in Pisces, because we are having a triple threat right now. Mercury is coming out of retrograde. We have a new moon in Pisces, and we also have the spring equinox, all going on within 48 hours of one another.
Well, no wonder I was sick.
Right? And balance is a really big thing about Ostara. The festival of Ostara is about balance because the equinox is equal day and equal night. And what I just heard you say, and what I would love to challenge and bring up, and maybe even have as the foundation, hey, this is happening right now in real time. The foundation of this episode is how can we bring balance back to the do and the be?
Ooh. Didn't you tell me one time, didn't you say something about human beings versus human doings?
I say it all the time.
I love that.
Are you a human being or a human doing? And if we have to be in a world that we have to do in some way, shape, or form to make things happen, obviously action is a part of magic. And if the action were to be nothing, how do we simmer in that and surrender to it? Because new moon in Pisces is all about surrender. Surrendering to your subconscious, to your intuition, to your dreams, to the big things that light you up. Because Pisces is the last zodiac sign. And we're ending the zodiac cycle with the two fish. Now, the two fish, to me, have a little piece or a little bit of wisdom from each sign that has come before them.
As if the scales on the fish have little
sparkles. Flavor. What's your flavor? Yeah. Yeah, Flavor Flav.
I know.
So you as a Pisces how are you feeling right now as we're diving into new moon? Because we've gone through, because here's a little thing.
Okay.
Right now as we're recording, it's a little bass-ackwards, if you will, right? Usually when I first started learning about the moon cycles, the new moon and the beginning of the sun season were matched up.
Okay.
So the new moon and the entire sun season of Pisces were matched up.
Oh, wait a minute. When you started?
When I started learning about all of this stuff in 2016-ish, and it changes. It obviously changes. But when I first started, I was like, oh my God, this system is so fucking cool.
But now it's off.
It is off. Because now we're having the new moon of Pisces at the end of the Pisces sun season, leading into Aries season. What? So we're making intentions with the new moon of Pisces, but we're now living in the sun energies of Aries. Weird, I know. So we're, like I said, it's flippity flop. And that brings balance to, are we working with the sun and the moon, the light and the dark, right? So much balance right now. Are we working with the moon, the new moon in Pisces, where we're going to set our intentions, we're going to plant our seeds, and we're going to dream big and allow ourselves to connect to our intuition and our third eye and really do some channeling and big dreaming, and then plant those seeds. So that's like the triple threat, is that the blockages are being pulled away with Mercury out of retrograde. Then the new moon in Pisces is, hey, how can you sink in? How can you make surrender the magic? How can you make creativity the spell?
Yeah.
Because as you just said, you're beating yourself up for not doing enough.
Right.
Where instead, what if that sickness that you just got out of was your opportunity or your possibility to get back into what it means to whimsically create something and paint and just do tarot and journal and read and sink into yourself and your own, not even your psyche, like sink into your subconscious and sink into what your inner child or what your inner angsty teenager, what your inner self really needed in that moment and wanted. Because that's the being. And that's the Pisces beauty, is that they, almost to a detriment sometimes, right? They go into dissociating and they go into escapism and they go into addiction. Like drugs and alcohol, I feel, hit Pisces people completely differently.
Really?
Or at least as I've done my studies, I have heard that they can be much more prone to or excessive addictive behaviors.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Just because, and all humans are prone to their own addiction having to do with genetics and blah, 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 blah. But the Pisces, because they love being dreamy in that floaty state. Like, imagine like the sensory deprivation that we do.
Like the tank or whatever.
Yeah. It's almost like Pisces can sink into that so easily.
Just like live in their own
and
little
live
world.
in their own little world. Bingo bango.
Yeah.
Because Pisces are so dreamy. Like you think about the fish, and the Pisces fish actually came from Aphrodite and Eros, I believe, were running from a serpent of some kind. I don't remember the name of it.
The basilisk.
They were running from a serpent, and they jumped off a cliff. And please, if I'm getting this incorrect, I have not looked up my notes in a while. If I'm getting it incorrect, let me know. And Aphrodite and Eros, her son Cupid, right, jump off the cliff, and she turns them into fish to swim away from. Once they hit the water, they swim away from Typhon. Typhon. I figured it out. Typhon. So I believe that is, and because of that, they were put in a constellation in the sky.
Beautiful.
Aphrodite, my OG, and her boy Eros.
And it's interesting because I've always kind of identified, being a Pisces, I've always identified kind of with Aphrodite, with the love and the dreaminess and the girliness, I guess, and all of that stuff has always, I think,
I'm your Venus.
The feminine energy that comes along with Aphrodite. It's interesting that you say that about the balance and the surrender. Just this past couple of days, I've been battling the sickness, and so I stayed home from work, which, as you know, I'm struggling with. But also, we had a snowmageddon here in Minnesota.
We did.
It is on March.
We had our full spring, which we usually do.
Yep. In March in Minnesota is this, usually they say, the snowiest month of the year. Sure. Actually, because it's obviously the rain go away, the April showers bring May flowers kind of vibes here in Minnesota. But of course, since it's still kind of chilly, it's snow. So we got nailed. What did we get, like 16 inches of snow?
We got fucking enough. That's how much we got.
So not just snow, but also wind. So you get snow drifts under your armpit if you're not careful, and that's just what happened.
Oh yeah.
But it was interesting during this time, being that I wasn't feeling spectacular. It wasn't like, let's clean out a closet. It wasn't like that energy. It was more like, I'm going to listen to this Irish folk song over and over and over because it drained all of the sadness out of my body. And such a dumb little weird, but I surrendered, if you will, to the energy of that song. And then we made little crystal things, and we watched. Showed my kids an old movie from when I was not a kid, but from the 90s. Just so it was these little moments of I wouldn't say surrender, but it was just a really odd weekend. It was like an odds and ends kind of weekend, puttering weekend.
You literally, everything you just said are action steps and ways to plug in to the new moon of Pisces. I'm not kidding.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding. I'm kitty.
You know what I think is interesting about
you're plugging in. I
didn't even realize I was plugging in.
You nailed it. Okay. So fucking nailed it.
All right, tell me.
So we're already 13 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get into the dreamy, awesome surrender of the new moon in Pisces. Or as this is being released, we have a couple days. We're in the balsamic moon phase, which means to heal, where it's barely a sliver, and right when we get to the new moon, then we can plant our seeds with intention when it comes to our dreams and our emotions and our intuition. When we are gearing up for new moon in Pisces, what you just did are some fabulous ways to plug in. You just said, I created, you gave me this cute little thing. It's looks like a crystal rock, amethyst, something. Yeah, Tell me what it was.
I made, my kids and my daughters and I made borax crystal hearts. So it's you do pipe cleaners, and then you suspend them in this borax and water mixture overnight, and they just grows crystals. And so that's all I did, is it just grew.
Would you say that was a whimsical activity?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I had borax in my house. It was an old box of borax we've had for 2 years.
When I went through a really big cleaning, I don't want old products. I don't want shit. I don't want Roundup. I don't want blah, blah, blah. I made my own toothpaste. I made my own shampoo. It was messy, but borax was in everything.
Yeah. Yep. And so we just had this old swollen box of borax from the shed.
Swollen, you say?
Well, because the humidity and all
that. Of course.
And we brought it inside, and we crusted that bitch open, and we made these heart crystal
and it's
things.
so cool.
Yeah,
and I want you to know that one of mine, and you haven't seen my notes.
No,
I
have not.
My notes. I do have notes, ladies and gentlemen. Create from a space of whimsy.
What?
Because creation is the spell when it's coming from a place of surrender, presence, and resonance. In big fat letters, no productivity.
What? Stop.
And then you because you surrendered to that, because I also, on the Snowmageddon day, I had a gig Friday night, Saturday night, and I was beat.
I bet you were.
Beat it! I was Michael Jackson, beat it.
you
Afterwards. And not because of anything I did wrong, but because there was a lot of energy being exchanged. Right. And I loved it. It was great. Boom. Did a lot of cool energetic hygiene. Rad. Awesome. Sunday, I was like, okay.
I'm all done.
Y'all gave me a snow day, and I'm going to do nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Chicken wang.
And how did it feel?
It felt so great.
Doesn't it?
It felt
That's
so
the balance,
great.
Right?
And that was the balance.
Yeah.
Because I gave, and I rushed, and boom, shakalaka, shaka khan, and then all of a sudden, you get to balance it out and just be.
Yeah.
I made a roast, and I watched golf, and I took naps with my puppy when she was willing to nap with me, because my boxer is the most biggest cuddle bug in the world, and she's great at it. She knows how to do it.
That's what you need. You needed a cuddly boxer.
I needed a boxer to cuddle me.
Yeah.
Yes. Zola for the win. And I did say that creating from a space of whimsy, you also said nostalgia. You pulled up, what was it? Men in Black.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Galaxy
so I'm going to tell a little
Defender.
bit. So this actually is, whimsy has tied into nostalgia. So let me explain.
Love.
So I went and had
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes,
for Pisces, do that, y'all.
I went and had my nails done on Saturday, and I decided I chose a bright neon green color, and I put blue chrome over it, so they have like a very reflective kind of glow in the dark of vibe. And the color that I chose was named, right, like the name on the bottle of nail polish was Area 51.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, so of course my nail tech, God love her, she's from Vietnam, so I asked her, do you know what Vietnam is? Or I'm sorry, do you? Yes, she knows what Vietnam is. I said, do you know what Area 51 is? She said no, so I explained it to her, and it was just such a cool thing of me trying to explain to somebody who didn't know. And then I thought, I haven't seen the movie Men in Black in a minute. And I'm like, I don't think my kids have seen it. So I told my husband, we're going to watch Men in Black this weekend.
That's so great.
Isn't that fun?
That's so great.
And so, in a way, like, my nail color inspired this activity of going back. And we watched the movie, and my kids were, my kids are 18, 16, and 13, and they loved it. They were kind of grossed out a little bit, in all fairness.
But you know what? The nostalgia piece of that, you shared something from your childhood. You got to plug into something that was familiar and comfortable, which is great. And then also add the whimsy and teaching your kids a little bit about where you came from, or what happened. Yeah. Because it was 97.
It was 97.
Bring back the 90s, girl. Do that. Do more of that.
I know. The 90s need to come back. It is coming back.
They are coming back. We coming back. Gen X Jukebox playing the 90s coming back.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So yes, the nostalgia piece, the whimsy piece, the being willing to not be productive. And I say being willing because a lot of the times, even when we need to rest, we're doing it in this like, fine. If I have to sleep in order to get better so I can go do that project that I've been working on, or I can show up in the way that I'm supposed to show up, even though when you really look at it, taking that moment, it's not an indulgence, it's a motherfucking necessity. The bare necessities. Don't forget about your worries and your strife. Right?
Yeah. I love Baloo.
I know. And talk about going back for nostalgia, little Jungle Book there for you. But what I'm trying to say is, how can we utilize this new moon into Ostara? Because Ostara is the new beginning. Ostara is the rebirth, so to speak. This new moon to be able to just take a moment and dream, not in an indulgent way, but in a restful, intentional way. Because that reset, that surrender is going to create space for you to listen or to feel or to have something come to the surface for you. Or like what we're learning right now is this sickness that you were handed. Let's silver lining this sickness. Get up, come on, get down with So you were down with the sickness. I was waiting for that one to come out. Right? Get down tonight. I know there's something else with down with the sickness. Okay. I knew it. Down, baby. They were all coming up, but not the one I wanted. That was the one I wanted.
I'm glad we harvested it.
I'm glad is the one I wanted. Thank you. It was almost like a sneeze or an itch that I had to get out. Right? That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. That is how the jukebox works. So going back to when you were down with this sickness, you were actually given an opportunity to listen and be like, man, I am really beating myself up right now and I'm falling into this shit shark game, right? And my self-hating inner talk is really coming up. And how can I flip this, or how can I turn it into something that is going to be worth it? And it's going to make me trip on the record that I'm shameful and guilty for resting and allowing this space. I look at like a luxury, or I look at it like an indulgence, when in reality that's what my body needed. Because didn't you say you started to get sick, and then you got, the next day you were fucking down, and then right after that, on the third day, it was like
gone.
Nothing happened.
It was
She's
bizarre.
gone. Oh,
It was bizarre. Yeah, it was like, so my kids had a little scratchy throat last week, and of course they went to school, they were fine-ish, and I remember going, and then it's like my scratchy throat. So I remember like, oh God, here we go. So of course the first week I was like, or the first day I'm like, well, I don't want to get anyone else sick, so I'm gonna stay home from work. I'm gonna rest up, and then tomorrow I'll hit it again. And in the morning I got up, it was worse. And I was like, how am I worse on the second day? So then I was like, and you know what I did? You know what? The only thing that worked with this, I just surrendered.
Yeah.
I surrendered.
See?
I just went, well, I'm sick. I'm dying. It was nice knowing all of you. You can have my CDs if you want. I'm going to bequeath. I'm going to bequeath you my DVD collection. Which is so useless these days.
You know,
but anyway.
But either way.
Yeah. But
I
surrendered
to it.
Yeah. I finally, instead of going, well, I should do this and I should make sure I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read and I'm going to take a bath. And I'm going to make some fucking like, if I want to. Like, it wasn't even like, I have to do these things.
Right.
It was just...
it wasn't, I have to do this to be productive and just let myself and psyche know that I accomplished something today.
Right.
It was more like I'm just kind of feeling my way through this.
Yep. Like, in this minute, I want to do this thing. I'm going to do it.
Very nice. And that's what surrender feels like.
Yep.
Okay. Because I think a lot of us are, well, what does surrender even fucking mean?
Yeah.
It's not just laying in bed like a lump.
No, it's not.
Unless that's what you want to do.
It's not, like, I think there's a difference between surrender and giving up.
Ooh. Oh, speak it. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
Giving up, if you want to think about it in like a war, okay? Or if, like, let's say I watch true crime. So, like, if someone gets caught by the police and goes thrown to the ground and they're finding, like, uncle, that's giving up. You got caught, dude. Like, you're giving up. If you surrender, if you come out with your hands up, that's an intentional act, my friend. Coming out with your hands up.
Understood.
That's like, that's agreement with the giving up, if that makes sense. It's like agreement.
It's giving permission.
Yeah.
Rather than being forced into it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of being wrestled to the ground and handcuffed on your face, it's about coming out with your hands up.
And a lot of the times when we surrender, it is out of this space of fine. If that's the last resort. This is my last resort.
Yeah.
If that's the last resort, is being shoved to the ground and being like, okay, fine, you're twisting my arm. I'm done. I give up.
I can't even run anymore.
You got me. You caught the tater. Fine. Awesome. But the surrender is, like you just said, it is an intentional agreement with yourself saying, okay, well, I've done all I can and I'm just going to give in. I'm not giving up. I'm giving in.
And my last thing that I can do is
for myself.
Let go.
Yes.
Is surrender. As opposed to being forced
to do it. Yep. Yes. And that's, I think sometimes life, when you think surrender, it's forcing you to give up instead of choosing to give in. And it's your last effort to show up for yourself in that moment.
And I think, make no mistake, I mean, a sickness wrestled me to the ground.
Sure, of course.
A sickness made me realize I needed to stop and slow down. And so, in all fairness, I could have still chosen to give up instead of surrender, right? So, but here's the difference. Surrender, to me, at the end of this illness, is like, giving up at the end of this illness would be more like, I can't believe I'm sick. Everybody's going to be mad at me. I'm stressed about this. Where am I going to move all my clients? Like, what's going to happen?
And feeding that energy.
Whereas surrender is like, okay, I'm down. Hair is going to get done. I'm going to piss people off, but they're going to be okay. And you know what? I'm going to read. I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to just love myself in this space, as opposed to I'm going to eat better so I can get better and get back to it. It's I'm just going to sit here as long as I need to. That's surrender.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. Hell yeah. And that immediately gave you results. Whereas in the next day, you literally said, usually there's a draining period in the whatever, that period. You all know what I'm talking about, right? There wasn't any of that. It was like a snap, crackle, pop. Nothing in the nose. Nothing in the sinews. No? Damn.
I mean, I was a little tired, but...
And on the third day, she rose again.
That's right. Just like
someone else we're about to talk about in a little bit. We'll get there. We promise. Okay, so... queso, cheese. Ha! If you wanted to plug into this triad, this triple threat, this super rad triple goddess energy that we're being given of Mercury removing all the blocky bullshit, new moon in Pisces before we get there on the 17th, 18th, I believe, or the 18th into the 19th, one of those, sinking deeply into yourself. Sinking into surrender and give yourself permission to give in and make this agreement rather than being shoved into it. That is going to open your third eye. It's going to open your channel. It's going to put you in a potentially subconscious trance-like dreamy state. Do a little meditation. If you want to join our Pathworking for this purpose, it is going to be on Wednesday, the 18th at 7 p.m. CST on Zoom.
Is that when it changes? Is that the changing?
I'm not sure. Maybe is that the changing of the guard? I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm a Pisces, but I don't even
I
know.
have it as the 18th, so we're doing it on the new moon.
Beautiful.
New moon into.
That's gonna be a powerful path.
And then spring equinox Ostara is the 20th, so we're meeting Wednesday the 18th 7 p.m. to do a pathworking to get into a dream state.
Question.
Because Pisces does speak in symbols. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to
No, don't be sorry. Go.
What would you say the tarot card would represent this moment? Right
now?
My
goodness. Well, I know the moon represents Pisces.
Okay. So the moon is Pisces.
And the moon is about what is an illusion or what's under the surface.
Could we do a pathworking about the moon?
1000%. The moon card?
The moon card or whatever other tarot cards surround this, because I've been really into that tarot practice of like utilizing a card to work off of. That has felt
I love that.
Less overwhelming for me as I'm learning.
How about this? Because of balance and because we have the moon with Pisces and we're working with our subconscious and illusions, then we move into the sun, which is the balance and the opposition of the moon, right?
Yes.
We do the sun, which represents Ostara and the rebirth and the coming of the sun. Here comes the sun,
little darling.
So there we go. That's what our pathworking is going to be.
Yeah, thank you.
There it is.
My birthday pathworking.
Wednesday, the 18th, 7 p.m. CST. You can sign up for it on magicismessy.com. And we're also, and that's our divination date. See, because you're supposed to do a tarot pull because surrender is greater than control. It is literally in my notes.
Okay.
Do a divination date.
Stop! Okay, so this is what's crazy about our energy. I just need to take a stop and take a tiny side bay right now because I'm just saying, like, what's so crazy about this is as I'm learning all of these things, I'm recognizing that I'm more in tune with the energy of the moon and what all of that stuff than I thought I was. I was.
Yes, you are.
You are validating so much of what I'm already feeling and what's going on, but also it's amazing to me that you have these notes and this is just flow. This is magic. I'm sorry.
I love it.
It just is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Well, no, what I also want to
take a moment
is because when we, you were kind of dipping your toe in, and what I love about these episodes, and I love, this is like the first time I've had anyone on the podcast or I'm conversing with someone when it's having to do with the new or the full moon. This isn't like our What the Fuck series.
No.
This is something completely different. And what I really enjoy is as we're talking about surrender, like you were dipping your toe in and you're like, oh, cool crystals. Oh, cool tea. Oh, cool. Well, yay witch. Oh, that sounds really neat.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's kind of taboo, but I kind of like it. Once you said yes to being on this podcast with me, you kind of surrendered to your inner knowing that you are a witch and you always have been.
Yes.
So you gave into what it was and you just started feeling your way through it and saying, this is what I want to do, this is whimsical to me, this is great. And now what you're doing is being given so much more in the respect of, oh wow, I'm plugged into this a lot more than I thought I was. That happens more often than you think it does.
That's so cool.
That when females, especially females or or anyone really, when they say, I'm going to give in and I'm going to surrender and I'm going to let go and I'm just going to say yes to the universe when it comes to my witchy path or my connection with the earth or connection
with...
Like
in a witch awakening.
A witch awakening. A witch and awakening.
I like it.
Love.
A witchening.
Whatever that may... A witchening. Because you said yes and because you surrendered and stopped controlling, I feel that religion is, in a sense, a control mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Take what you need, the rest you can leave.
Right.
Because it's a structure that you have to plug into, not that you potentially get to plug into, which, yes, the gratitude for that structure and all that jazz and all of those teachings can be present.
Yeah.
And I also feel that when you say yes to just your body, it doesn't even have to be called a witch. Right. What you are doing is saying yes to yourself and your intuition and your inner knowing and your energy and the way that you can bend energy around you to your will.
Yes.
It doesn't have to have a label on it. It's your divine.
Well, and the other piece of it is, and I don't know how soon you want to get into this.
I do. Go.
But I was going to say, I recently read somewhere or heard something where they were basically talking about how Jesus, when he came, that he was meant to be sent as a disruptor. And Jesus, one of his main teachings was that the kingdom of God is within you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that...
And weren't those pieces kind of taken out?
I was just going to say.
They were intentionally
minimized.
Yep.
They were minimized.
That's not the sermon we're having.
You know, and I don't know the Bible perfectly. I've read parts of it. I was only a Christian for a short time. But I would say that I know that was mentioned in the Bible, but the Bible really focuses more on, the surrender and the worship of God and Jesus over learning about how the kingdom of God is within us. And when I think about being a witch, I really think about the intuition of and the nature of our bodies and how how we have so much wisdom and kingdom within us because of tapping into the natural things around us. So in a way, I feel like that's honoring very much what Jesus taught, and how Jesus, again, as a historical figure, was a disruptor, and he really shook things up. And isn't that what we're doing?
But also, I want you to bring forward, you touched on this a little bit, where he was disrupting and shining light on the way that the rulers at the time were ruling unjustly.
Correct.
And the government at the time was not for the people. And that's why he was sentenced / crucified, yeah. All of that jazz, is because he was a disruptor.
Them.
Do you think Jesus was a witch?
I 100% do.
I also do.
And I don't mean to be any blasphemous for anybody. Please stick with us if you're listening and you're like, I don't know about that.
Take what you need, the rest you can leave.
But I'm just saying, I think that Jesus was 100%, and I think that there are some installations, not all, but some installations out there that are using Jesus's likeness to do exactly what Jesus fought against.
Wow. The big words, I know. Those are such big, beautiful words.
Well, thank you. But I think that some churches that I've been to have absolutely made themselves the God again, like the Pharisees again, and all of those, and how the world as it stands now is not. They're shutting down the truth tellers. They're shutting down the kingdom of God within us tellers.
Yes.
Because they want their mechanisms to be the loudest and the most powerful.
And we're really seeing that in real time right now. Because I'm not going to get into it now, but I think all of the dirty, dark, dingy things that are coming to light, the Frankenstein files, I think it all has to do a lot with what we're speaking of is this structured religion and this praise this type of I think the call's coming from inside the Vatican if you really want to talk to me about it. 100%. And I love that we're moving into what Ostara is, because we were saying and the sun rose on the third day, like that's Easter, but Eoster is actually a goddess, the goddess of rebirth, the goddess of fertility. She's an Anglo-Saxon goddess, and I feel, and I always have felt, because I went to a Roman Catholic private school forever growing up, kindergarten to 8th grade. Ooh. This is what I lived in.
Okay.
And it felt wrong in my body then. When in actuality, when they say the sun rose on the third day, did they mean the S-O-N sun, or did they mean the S-U-N sun? Mm. Because when the sun rises on the third day, or when the equinox comes, it's about balance. It's about the sun is coming back in its splendor and its power. Yep. But what they're saying is this is coming back in its splendor and its power. And I want to go back to Jesus being a disruptor, because his name wasn't. It was Yahweh, or his name wasn't Christ.
I think his name was Kal-El. No, that's Superman's name.
Okay, never mind.
His name was Bruce Wayne.
Batman. I am the Batman.
I am.
No, Christ is a consciousness that his teachings were bringing forward. The kingdom is within you. Listen to your own. Listen to yourself. Listen to your own energy. Be your own God.
Yes.
Be your own great omniscient deity in the sky and speak to yourself, right? And this Christ is a consciousness that has been squashed and
100%.
it has been bastardized to fit into a mold of potentially greed and we are higher than thee. We all of this jazz.
We know more than you.
We know more than you. You are inferior.
I think Christ consciousness, if you will, has been warped into how the church knows everything and the Bible knows everything, and we need to always defer to the church and the Bible to be right with God or to do
nothing
the right
wrong
thing.
with morals and ethics.
Not at all.
But not if they come in the way of other people's happiness.
Right. But there's also some concepts that I've never been able to wrap my head around, like how Jesus died for our sins. I just don't even understand that. And maybe I practiced Christianity in a fundamental way for about 20 years. And so I would think after 25 years of practicing going to church, reading the Bible, going to Bible studies, all of those things, that I would think that I would sort of understand that concept at some point.
Hold on, though. Something light bulb just went off. Is the Bible a book of parables?
I mean, I think there's
because was it literal? Did he actually die? Or was he doing an ego death? Was he doing the death of... We talk about the death and rebirth cycle, like you have to let that old person go or you have to love that person. Was he not suffering, but yes, did he surrender to an ego death and give into it, and then he rose again because then from the energy that he released, is that maybe it wasn't literal at all. I just came up with that in the moment,
and I'm fairly certain of it.
Okay. And did you feel that?
I did, and I've thought about the same thing. I'm like, did Noah really build an ark and put all the unicorns on there? For real? Did he really?
He missed the unicorn.
I know he missed it. That was the one thing he left out. Come on, Noah, get your shit together.
You had one job, Noah.
Well, he was a drunk.
Yeah.
So, man, he was probably a Pisces. I'm sorry.
No wonder the water everywhere. He was a Pisces.
Yeah, he was.
Or was it just a big dream? Or what?
Yes.
Because I know that I grew up listening to parables. You have the tortoise and the hare. You have all of these stories that are meant to, in essence, teach lessons. That's what fairy tales were created for originally, and all that jazz, right? So what if the Bible wasn't meant to be taken literally as this is your system for living as a good human, and if you go out of these bounds and you are condemned to hell, right? Or was it just a storybook to learn about your power and the things that you can do? You can give in and surrender to ego deaths, and you will be risen, and a new life will be born unto you. All of these ideas are so beautiful. What I also, and it's total side bay, and we're going to do an entire episode on this, Mary Magdalene is made to be a harlot, a heathen.
Yeah.
And in all actuality, I think she was the witch of witches.
And I believe she was Jesus' partner.
Yes. Yeah,
she was
that was my next thing.
She was the woman that Jesus loved.
And you have to have the divine masculine, the divine feminine. They opened portals together. Yep. They were the balance.
I don't think the church wanted
women to have any power at all.
Yeah, they didn't want women to affect the great Christ, right? The Son. They wanted men to be in power. And so I think it was sad because I don't think Mary Magdalene was actually a prostitute.
No.
I think they just made her one. Isn't that sad?
And if they made that up, then what the fuck else did they make up?
Thank you. Or leave out.
And, you want to talk about the Dead Sea Scrolls? You want to talk about where did his teenagehood go? Where did his 20s go? All of a sudden you wake up and, Jesus is born and then he's 30. And he's walking on water. What did he do in that time?
Mm-hmm. Or what about his family? His brothers and sisters?
Whatever it may be.
His aunties?
He was a real person.
Yeah.
Showing that, and maybe that's why they took it out, because it showed that he was a real person. That he was of blood and skin, and that he also had emotions, and he wasn't this, raise unto me this God Son. I'm bringing you the Son that's going to save. Unattainable energy.
Yeah.
When in all actuality, we ourselves can also attain that energy. Correct. But the guidebook was cut the fuck out because they don't want you to know that.
No.
Because you don't tithe to something that's not greater than yourself, right?
Or you can't be controlled if you're listening to your own intuition.
Ooh, I'm getting blood boily right now.
Sorry.
Ooh, no, it's good. I'm like, all of this is rushing back out. And it's so great because Ostara is about wake up. The wake up of the earth. And if we use this opportunity to wake up and begin again and rebirth something, right? And I want to bring it back to where we're at with, Pisces, and the new moon of Pisces is an opportunity to sink in and surrender, but then plant seeds, and then with the star, like literally plant those seeds, because we're being given a new fertile soil. And some of the things we can do during Ostara, like, you think about the sun rising and what they used to do back in the day. Tell me more about, because we're talking about Christianity, tell me more about what Easter was like for you then.
Well, and like,
because I remember,
and I'm not by any means an expert on this type of stuff, because I've only, I was only a Christian for about 20 years. Well, and again, I feel like I still have some Christ
20 years is quite a bit.
True.
And you have been handed beliefs and traditions
correct.
That still play out in your world today.
Yes.
From what you were given then. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So the question you asked was,
what
was Easter like for
correct.
me?
What is Easter? How did you celebrate Easter? Or how do you still move forward celebrating Easter from what you were taught in that construct or system?
I will be honest with you. Now, just even looking back on even just my years spent in Christianity. I mean, of course you go to church, and of course you do all the things, and you do but I think I still always was very rooted in like the belief, like the sorry.
Go ahead.
The illness is still in my brain. Evidently, it's slowing things down. But basically, the pagan or the moon cycle type of things.
Earth way.
The earth way.
The goddess way.
So I don't know. I mean, I think I felt, to be honest with you, I really feel like I was an imposter.
Ooh.
In the Christian world.
Sure.
I did not surrender to it.
I subscribe to that.
I spent 20 years trying to twist it to make it make sense to me, and it just didn't.
And there were times where it just pinged you like, that doesn't feel right.
No, there was a lot of things that didn't feel right, that didn't make sense. It didn't even line up with the way that I knew Christ to be. And at the same time, feeling connected to God and knowing that God, like, I almost feel like, why are we doing this right now?
So you were connected to something bigger.
Yes.
But the story that you were living in didn't feel like a story that your body wanted to continue or
it didn't recognize.
It felt like it was being smushed into this box.
Yes.
Got it.
I did. I felt like an imposter, and so I can't speak too much to the church because I felt like I was just going through the motions.
Sure.
Because this is what you do when you're
What
a Christian.
Motions did you go through?
Well, I mean, the church.
You
on
go
Sunday
to church.
Morning,
You buy new clothes.
Yep. I will say.
Did you do like the egg hunts, and did you do all the baking of goods?
Yes. And chocolate and
the extremely material.
The Easter baskets, and all that shit, But again, as a kid, it's like, well, there's a large bunny that comes to your house and he brings you candy. I mean, I don't have to argue. I had a fucking fat man in a red suit in my house last month, so I'm down with a large bunny.
But we also found out the fat man in the red suit was made by the Coca-Cola company, wasn't he?
That's right. Right.
For consumerism.
And why?
So you did a very consumer-heavy Easter celebration.
Yes.
Okay.
It's because my parents were, but we still went to we'd go to church. When I became a Christian later in life in my 20s, I would go to church with my in-laws, and I would, we would celebrate, and we would do the Easter egg hunt with the kids, and everybody'd get a new fancy Easter dress, which was so lovely. I loved that, an excuse to get, but I love how you can still use some of those traditions.
Yes. And that's what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Is the traditions of Easter are taken from, and take what you need, the rest you can leave, Eoster. Eoster was a goddess of fertility, of new beginnings, and she was affiliated with the hare, or the big bunny rabbit.
I was going to say, did she hang out with chocolate bunnies?
I believe the myth or the story goes that she saved a bird that laid her eggs, and that bird ended up turning into a hare because a rabbit or a hare is well known to traverse the worlds. Or are very they can communicate with the spiritual realms. So it turned into a hare, And then that also represents balance, and then fertility, rebirth, abundance, because bunnies procreate. They fuck like bunnies.
Okay,
like they just...
so that actually makes so the bunny with the eggs makes sense now in all of the Cadbury propaganda.
Yeah, if you wish. Perfect word. But yes, eggs have always symbolized new life. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, they are the chick. Mm-hmm. So when you're talking about back to life, back to reality, back to life.
I can't do it. Can't beat. There you go. I can't do the beat.
So the back to life, or the rebirth, the renewal, is symbolized by the egg having everlasting life. So that's where the eggs came from. That's why we do egg hunts, and that's why we do, eat a lot of eggs, hard-boiled eggs. So decorating an egg, putting an egg on your altar. I do want to kind of talk about an altar, because you can do a Pisces and an Ostara altar. You can have an egg and an acorn. You can have something that represents water for Pisces and earth for Ostara, because when you put them together, you can create things with them. Seeds that you've planted could be great on your altar. Plant some seeds for Ostara and whisper into the seed.
Can they be marijuana seeds?
Sure they can. Okay. They can be any seed you'd like. Okay. Chickadee. Okay. Chickadee with the seeds. Okay. And speaking of seeds, leaving maybe some offerings.
You mean like the 15 bird feeders I have outside?
Bingo. Refill them. Refill them with seeds. Leave berries, seeds,
right now
honey.
My bird feeders are covered in about 16 inches of snow. So they're working for it. The birds are working for it.
They have to work. Work. CBC.
I was going the RuPaul route, but I got you. I got you, Rihanna. Okay.
Okay. You were gonna
work. You better work. Cover girl. Work.
I hear you, Shantae. Yep.
Shantae.
Love me some RuPaul. So planting seeds. The symbolism of eggs and rabbits, they really do come from earth-based traditions. Because right now is the time where the farmers, if you're working with the earth-based cycles, the farmers would go into their fields and wake up their soil. They would sing to their soil. They would ring bells over their soil before they plant seeds. So maybe go around your perimeter and think about cleansing. Going around the perimeter of your home or whatever and singing your yard awake.
Oh my gosh.
And on top of that, doing some smoke cleansing. Like, think about spring coming in. If you have a brand new clean slate to work from, open the motherfucking windows, sweep out that shit, clean the baseboards, do some energetic hygiene with your bad self, right? Take a shower or a bath, thinking about all that cleansing all of it. Just sweeping outwards. There are so many ways.
Cleaning.
Yeah, spring cleaning. They call it spring cleaning for a reason. Maybe flipping your closets, bringing in those summer beautiful, like brighter colors. Ooh. Anything that makes you think of beginning again, awakening, renewal,
starting over,
returning to light. Because that is what the equinox is meant to symbolize, is returning of the sun, the S-U-N. And plugging back into that in ways of, you can make an altar, like I said, the black and the white candles, or the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the sun and the moon. Making a space that honors balance will bring balance back into your life as well. Because that's what magic is, making a genuine intentional change. When you whisper to a seed with intention, or when you clear your space with intention, or you light smoke and say a spell that any negative energy that has been stuck here, I now release you into the atmosphere. Get the fuck out, or that too. It can be as easy as GTFO, yo.
GTFO, old energy. Yep. Sorry, I'm not very good at the spells.
What was that one song? Get out, leave right now. It's the end of you and me. Who was that? Gosh, what was her name back in the day? One. I think she was like 13. It was a 90s jam.
Oh, okay.
No, that's JoJo. No, never mind. I'll figure it out. Okay. Whoever it is, let me know. Leave, get out. You can say that to all of your energy.
Yes.
And let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Another thing you can do to plug in is to start your day with sunlight. As we are moving into, think about the darkness of Pisces, where we have the new moon, and then as the crescent comes into the sky is Ostara. So it's new beginning, it's new greeting the sun and allowing your face to sit in the sunshine. Allow the morning rays to light up your face.
Can you drive directly into the sun if you're headed east towards work?
Why not?
That's a good way
and
to do it.
allow the sun in through the windshield.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But just taking a moment to be intentional with the sun as it is now growing in the sky. And as the sun grows, you grow.
Hell yeah.
And that's something to think about too. That's why I know, for me, setting intentions with like January 1st, and I know we talked about that too, setting intentions with January 1st in the middle of winter, sometimes I use Sagittarius to think about the big things, and then I move towards it to really set my intention with the new moon in Aries / spring equinox, or not new moon, the Aries sun season starts on spring equinox.
Okay.
Yes. So utilizing Ostara, utilizing the new moon in Pisces, utilizing all of these energies. As much as you may feel heavy, or you might want to pull away, you might want to scroll yourself into goddess damn oblivion, do not. Please do that. Please do not do that, because you have such a great energy being culminated for you to plant seeds, plant rad intentions, plant amazing things that are going to grow within the next 6 months or the next year. So utilize this time of resurrection. This is the resurrection of Jesus Christ, right?
Right.
So what can you do if we just suffered a death of some kind, if we did our ezo death and we are being given an opportunity and possibility to resurrect? What are you resurrecting? Or what dream is coming up for you that you want to bring to life? How can you bring your emotions and your amazing dreams into the world with tangible actions?
Right.
And the timing of this energy is really fucking awesome. So please, sister, mister, don't waste it. Don't waste this awesome energy.
No. Say yes to embracing this energy and say no to the things that drain your energy.
Yeah. And think about it when it comes to your space too. If we're thinking about spring and we're thinking about what we allow in our own space, in our vessel, right? If we're working on Christ consciousness and being present and being resonant with the earth and the vibrations above, how can you better step into that? How can you renew and revive and realign and resurrect something in you as well that has been maybe lying dormant or maybe begging to get out?
And to connect that with Pisces, oftentimes it's whimsy. Right?
Tell me more.
Well, like oftentimes it's whimsy, like you're talking about realignment. Like maybe you're not ready to sit down and like have a whole manifestation, like planting seeds sesh.
Sure.
Maybe it might be, the first thing might be like you get yourself some new clothes, right? Or you get a haircut, take off some old dead ends. Or it might be maybe you clean your car out, salt.
I love cleaning out the car in the spring.
Yes. Like just taking your mats and clean. Again, in Minnesota, there's tons and tons of salt. So, doing something simple. Maybe it needs to be a small thing first to then lead to the bigger thing.
Yes. And that's why I'm saying, and I'm glad you brought that up, because of course this sounds big. Like, use the energy of the fire horse. Like, this is a brand new astrological year. Aries' sun season just started. And take a moment to sink back into the surrender we were talking about at the very beginning of this episode. Yeah. The agreement to give in. So therefore things can download and you can get your energy back. Yes. And you can realign and revive your energy from the inside, because then the outside is going to mirror how you feel in the inside. That's how energy works.
Well, and the other piece of it is too, if we are going on a fiery horse ride right now, ain't nobody controlling that horse. Just sink in, fucking just surrender. Just clamp your thighs around that bitch and let it go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't sink into the damn horse. Like, you ain't going anywhere. Yeah. You're on the horse. Ain't going nowhere. So let the horse drive the show, man, and just surrender to it.
Surrender to it. And within that surrender, there's an opportunity to bring your emotional world and your physical world together with the new moon in Pisces, with planting seeds of intention and energetic seeds, but then also planting potentially literal seeds to grow as you grow during this season as well. And that's how we can plug in. Like, are you plugging into the moon phase? Are you plugging into the sun and what it's doing? Or are you plugging into both in balance? Right. It's your choice, your call, your practice is your practice.
And I think if you don't overthink it, the answers just come. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I feel like surrender is kind of like I'm done thinking. I don't want to think about it. I'm going to feel my way through it.
Yes. And that's how you end up making borax heart crystals and watching Men in
Black.
Kids. Yeah.
And that was a great revive, because now look at you. Now you're like, well, the next day I was given the opportunity to get up and go and feel better and feel more alive.
I did.
And feel reawakened. And feel revived in some way, shape, or form.
And I'll be honest, I did. I skipped past the icky post-cold drainage moment, and I think part of it has to do with that.
You think?
The surrender. Yeah, absolutely.
Girl, I know it did.
I know it did.
It did.
Good, because I don't need to be wasting no Kleenex no more.
No. Yeah. It's actually tissue.
Oh, tissue.
The brand name is Kleenex.
I know.
Isn't that funny how they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you ever
Consumerism.
heard, but if you were to choose any brand, it would be Kleenex probably.
With the lotion in it.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. My nose is very sensitive. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and misters, our hour is almost up. We covered a lot today.
I was say, did you get to everything?
I'm pretty sure I got to everything in my notebook.
Okay.
My notes. Thank you so much for being here. Ace, I'm talking to you, girl.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a part of this kind of hybrid episode, if you will.
I like it.
I hope that you got some things that you can do from it.
The wonderment.
I hope that we allowed a couple questions to rise up for you. We're going to be doing a lot more episodes on Jesus and Christ consciousness, Mary Magdalene, that whole thing. That one's going to be coming up soon. I'm really excited for that one. We're going to be doing some episodes on surrender and what does it even mean? What the fuck is surrender even?
Yes, yeah.
So a lot of episodes are being created from these conversations.
Yes. We also had made a plan to talk about beliefs.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really cool upcoming episode of us talking about what are some of your old beliefs that you're still holding on to, and what can you
and how can we reframe?
Yeah.
Reframe
Maybe
them.
when the moon cycle is up in that place, that would be a good place to plug that in. I think.
I agree, and that's what we're going to be doing with these pathworkings, with the coven, all of that jazz. The pathworking, the next one for New Moon Pisces and Ostara, where we're working with the Moon card and the Sun card of the tarot, is going to be on Wednesday, March. We're still in March. Yep. March 18th at 7 p.m. CST. You can sign up for that on magicismessy.com. It is donation based. Just show up, buttercups. Just be there. Let's rock and roll.
It's so fun.
Let's commune. Let's converse. All star.
Commune.
Let's connect. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's sink into and surrender to what comes up in our psyches, what comes up in our subconscious, and what comes up in a space of safety and sacredness.
And I think yesterday we were like 30 days out from Coven kickoff.
Oh man, girl, I'm actually, I think we have all the people.
We do?
We have 13.
Oh my gosh.
We're still taking applications. If it sounds like something, check out the One Year Witch page on Magic is Messy.
Yes.
If it sounds like something that floats your boat, awesome. We can do an intro meeting. You and I can connect, see if it's right for you, see if it's the right time for you.
I can't wait.
But we do have 13 people.
Hell yeah.
Ready to rock and roll?
Sisterhood, moving forward, 365 with a sisterhood of 13. Are you kidding me?
Say less, baby. Let's reawaken. Let's sink into that. Let's surrender. Surrender. Don't give yourself away.
Wait, are you doing Cheap Trick?
Yeah, hell yeah, Cheap Trick. Okay. Hell yeah, I'm doing Cheap Trick. What were you doing?
I don't know. I was trying to do that part, but I forgot it.
But you know what? We nailed it. Let's rock and roll. Thank you so much, sisters and misters, witches and wizards. Please feel free to leave us a comment if you enjoyed this episode. We would love to hear what resonated, any questions that come up. We hope to see you on Wednesday the 18th, and we're going to be doing a lot more pathworking, so stay tuned for all that jazz. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's rock and roll on sealing the episode, shall we? Ready? Go! Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon for the next moon.